You lost?
Yes.
Who'd you lose against?
Does he want to say this again? Or?
Oh, Chelsea.
Yeah. We
Oh,
lost
no.
against Chelsea.
Cross and relax, mate.
How much?
But, yeah, what was the score? What was the score?
Yeah, 3-1.
Is it?
Played there, yes.
Yeah, Ramona
She's playing for
Ramona
Chelsea.
Batman in the front row.
We've
Played
got-
for Chelsea.
But she didn't
Chelsea.
score.
Did she not score today?
Okay, cool. So, how are you? Apart
Yes.
from the loss, how are you?
Yeah, really good. Thanks for having me as well. I just said to him, yeah, obviously I'm not from England. I'm trying my best to understand him. But yeah, please give me a chance, okay?
I speak German, you know.
Okay, cool.
Well,
I definitely cannot speak German.
Now we tried in English, okay?
Yeah.
I try my best.
Go on.
So Julia, what made you want to pursue a career in football, if that's what you wanted to do?
Yes, obviously, I don't know. For example, this is what we get always asked, like female footballers. But I think for me, it was always, only one thing I wanted to do, that was playing football. So at this time when I started, I'm already 30 years now, there wasn't really a lot of money in the game and a lot of chance to make it really professional. So I think until I was 14 or something, I thought like I'm going to play for the men's Bundesliga or men's national team or something like this. And then I realized that I'm not growing anymore with 12 or 13. So yes, so not. But that's, always was my dream to play professional football or just to play football and can live my life from playing football. So it was never a plan B or something.
Was it necessarily, did you mind where you did it? Like whether it was Germany, England, or did you want to come to England to play?
Yeah, I always had the wish to play somewhere abroad. It wasn't necessarily had to be England, but it was, I wanted to see the world a little bit. At this time, USA is also a really big football nation in women's football or soccer. So that was always my plan to go once to the USA and play football over there. But when the offer came from England, I took it.
Excellent. And if I could ask as well, what do you obviously notice as the differences between the way football is structured in Germany and the way it's structured in the UK, especially for obviously for women?
Yeah, this is maybe not many people know a lot about women's football, but England is the first country who runs a professional female football league. So we have 12 teams in the league, and every single team is professional.
Oh, fantastic.
So that, for example, I played in Germany for 13 years on a professional level. I could always live from football and stuff like this, but there are a lot of teams or girls who can't really live just from playing football, and we have the same schedule like the men has as well. So it's just, we live two lives in one, So I played with girls. They trained 6-7 times a week and still had a 40 hours shop next to it. So really? They rush from their job to the training, and on the weekends, when we play somewhere 8 hours away, they spend their whole weekend in the bus, for example. Wow. Okay. So that was a tough time, I think, for many girls or women playing football. So I think, we can really appreciate, making it professional and can live from what you love, and what you work for every week and day as well.
So was that even when you were playing for like a big team like Bayern Munich, you still couldn't live off the money that you was getting from Bayern Munich?
A lot of girls couldn't, to be honest. Yes. So I was lucky enough to always survive the month by the salary I got from football. I studied next to football as well, or try to do something apart from football. Always, I think it's just good for your head as well to have a life next to to this daily routine of training and playing, especially when you're injured or not having a good time at football. That you have just something apart from football which you can which makes you happy as well. So I think this is also for boys. I think it would be not bad to have something, not only 24/7 having football in your head, just doing something else as well. So, but a lot of girls couldn't make it.
So you said that you did stuff outside of football. What was it that you balanced it with? What did you do outside of the game?
Yeah, like school was an important thing, and then I made a year with the football association where I just worked a little bit. Right. It was more like training little boys or girls from schools, and tried to do some coach licenses as well. And then I studied, obviously, and it was not like I didn't go there. I really studied, so it was like I study for 12 years now because I'm focusing on football, but I focus on football.
Yeah.
But also try to, make my bachelor and master just to have something like, obviously we don't earn enough money to always live from football.
Sure.
This is also, of course, a reason. So you have to do something, or you have to have something after your football career. So I think it's good because you need to do it, that you really do it then at the end.
Yeah.
But I think it always worked out, because then when you're injured or something and you just can go to your uni where it's not just about football always, or people not
so
just
it gives
asking
you
you.
a chance to switch off a little bit.
Yes,
sometimes.
switch off, just get your head, and also use your brain a little bit. I think like footballers just go there, get trained, and go home, and not thinking one more second about really, what they can still bring you. Yeah. So I think, just to keep your little bit balanced, I think it's important. Yeah.
Okay, Julia, you spoke about not being able to make a living from it, but during the Women's World Cup, or after, sorry, in the aftermath of it, there was like a big conversation around the fact that women footballers should get paid the same as men. What is your stance on that? Or was the question framed without real context, if that makes sense?
So there's a big discussion, obviously, about equality. I think this big, this big move came also from the USA, where players went in front of a court as well, and went in court against their own football association, that they want to have the same, let's just say, the same chances men have. I think it's not necessarily about, the same amount of money to earn. It's more like having good facilities and being able to play professional without thinking about, oh shit, I need to work at least 20 hours, a week or something to be able to play football. And I think some people get it wrong, or I think it's not right 100%. Like, why would we earn the same amount of money when we don't have the same outcome in terms of like commercial stuff like men has? So I think the discussion about the same money is not the right one. It's more about giving us access to be professional footballers and can perform at the same, not at the same physical level, but still on the same level the men do, because we put the same effort in the game and in our training week and in our lives. And I think, just being able, for example, here, we train at this, obviously we're at West Ham, we train at the same training ground like our men. So we have the same gym, we have the same training pitches, we don't have the same money still, or the same cars, but we also don't have this, or share the same parking. But at least you have the facilities, you have a medical team, you can, you can eat there, you can be healthy because you can see a physio before you go to train. Stuff like this, I think, is so much more important than, having this, big amount of money.
Thank you for the answer, by the way. So the likes of, the obvious Rapinoes are speaking and saying certain things, I think people just normally just assume that you all feel the same way, if that makes sense. So when certain things are being said, do you ever feel like, oh no, I don't feel that way, but I can't really speak out because they're trying to fight for the bigger picture, if that makes sense?
I think with, for example, Rapinoe, who gets a lot of criticism as well at this time because she's really outgoing and she's trying to, change a lot. But I think to change a little, you have to, say a lot or be really outgoing to at least make a little change. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be like every player just starts from now on, hey, we want to have this, we want to have this. At one point you have to be thankful and grateful as well, like to just being able, because we don't fill these stadiums. So I think it's to be honest, it's a minus for every club running a women's team, because we don't bring the budget we need to have to really be a professional team, So I think, but it's more about, like, I don't know who said it, I think Lero at the beginning, it's not only about, football is so much more than just playing football, Yeah. So when you speak about this equality thing, like, it's on so many different areas in your life. So I think it's more like also letting people play the game, or women play the game as well. So I think they have the same chance to play it. So without, just Rapinoe obviously using her platform, So, and I think it's a great thing she does, because she's really brave with like taking a lot of critic as well. But I think you need people like her to be that outgoing, to change little things like having access to the same facilities. something like this. Yeah.
That's a great answer.
Obviously, we've had the Women's World Cup, which had a lot more of a promotional push than it has in previous years. How far would you say, like, the women's game on a national scale has come, and how far do you think it potentially can go?
People sometimes ask if we're gonna ever make it to the same level, and I think never. This will never happen. I think you will never bring as many people on a weekly basis in stadiums and fill them like men do every week, and every single Premier League game or games from the countries as well. Like you won't fill these big stadiums, but I think with the big media attendance now, and especially after this great World Cup, it was unreal for the women's game with having these big stadiums filled and having all this media attention. And I think now the challenge is as well, like, bringing this momentum to the league as well, because this is when they always struggle after a big World Cup, a lot for the Euros as well, or Olympic Games, something. Then normally is when you go back to the daily business, it's a little bit dead as well, and nothing really going on. Like, we play sometimes only in front of 300, 400, 500 people. We don't even have a really big stadium, We have one stand, and the rest is an open
terrace.
Yeah, open terrace. So when it's raining, maybe 50% of the people wouldn't even come to the game because they just get wet. So, and I understand it, but I think you have to bring these better facilities as well. Let us play in bigger stadiums, or better stadiums, not even bigger. Like, for example, Chelsea has a really good stadium in terms of their size. Like, they can put in, I think, Chelsea again.
King's Meadow, yeah.
Yeah, like 4,000 people can come or something, and I think there's a really good atmosphere when 4,000 people watch a game, instead of, for example, when we play in our London stadium where the men's play, and there are maybe 10,000, the atmosphere wouldn't be that great,
Yes,
So give us a little, smaller stadiums, but when you are able to fill them, it would be great for the game, because it's just, for us players, but also for the fans, having a little bit of atmosphere there. And then you enjoy the game a little bit more. So from this standpoint, I think it grew a lot because we had 3, 4 really big games now in this league. In the, Man City played in their men's stadium. We played in our men's stadium. Chelsea played in their men's stadium. I think Tottenham soon is playing at the men's stadium. And it's going to be a good crowd. Like, all these games were in front of, 30,000, 40,000 people who really came and to a women's game, For us, Wembley is sold out now when Germany is playing against England, in 1 or 2 weeks. So it's 90,000 people coming to a women's game, which is
amazing.
Yes, it's crazy. It's really sick. So if you want to come, you're too late. It's sold out,
Can we get comp tickets?
Maybe.
Well, guys, that's it from her. Have you noticed the change in the standard or quality of football since, in the last 10 years to now? What's been the biggest change you've seen?
The tempo, 100%. So the tempo got a lot better when I watched women's football, 10, 15 years ago. Like, even us players, we didn't really enjoy playing women's games because the tempo was just not at the level, and also, like, the technical bits, I think, got better and better as well, because girls now start playing football at the same age boys do, for example. Some girls, just find out with 14 years that they like football and started playing football and still could make it, to the first league or first division. And I think boys normally start with 5, 6, 7 years old in a club and train regularly. And I think this is, your technical bits and also your way to move and just make it look a little bit better. I think it's just better when you start earlier, So I think from this standpoint, just having better structures now, and girls are able to play football even from a young age on, it's just making the game automatically better and make it look better as well.
Yeah, and I know just obviously that you've also got your like a soccer school thing, and I think, did you start that over in Germany?
Yes, I started in the summer having a football camp, a girls-only football camp. Yes.
And you're running another one, I think, next week.
Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday next?
Yeah.
Someone's done their research.
Right. So if someone has a daughter, bring her.
But tell us a little bit about that, because I know that you're using it's literally yourself and 2 other pros who are running the sessions.
Yes, so one is sitting there.
Oh,
Ramona
right.
is coming as well as a coach. Yeah,
Oh,
she needs to because
Ramona.
Come on then, give her applause. No,
And obviously, it's just for girls, isn't it?
It's just for girls, yeah.
Just encouraging more girls to play. So tell us a little bit about that.
so when I had this idea for years in my head to just run in like girls only camps because, for example, over like in Germany we don't really have these camps for just girls. We have a lot of camps for boys. Like almost every club is doing, half-term camp for the boys. That it's open for girls as well. But I know a lot of girls who wouldn't join a boys camp when there are 50, 60 boys and 2 or 3 girls. So I just thought, in the last summer break, I thought let's just do like more as an experiment or see like how it goes, to how big is the demand as well, like how many girls would really come and take this option. So I tried to really promote it as much as I could, like over my social media accounts, stuff like this, but it worked out at the end. I had 6 days, I think, and over 80, 90 girls really coming to these camps. And I think it was good because no one ever did it before. Yeah. So I just thought, like, also trying it over here, where a lot more girls' football option exists, I think. But the idea behind this is like girls being trained by professional footballers. So girls like Ramona who made it professional, or also me, who went the same way they wanna go one day, and also they have their struggles and their questions, and just interacting with professional footballers. I think even if you're not the best coaches or something, but we know their struggles or what they're going through sometimes, also combining it with school. And also, when you play football as a girl, I think there's not, as a boy it's easy because every boy plays, and the better. So everyone say, hey, cool, that you're playing football. With a girl it's a little bit different. So a lot of, we just had a conversation, I don't tell you with who, but if you ask people sometimes if they get a baby, hey, when it's a girl, maybe she can play football. And many men would say, no, I don't want her to play football. I don't want my daughter to play football. Sure. So it's different. As a girl, you always have to fight a little bit, like your own battle in life. And there's a lot of prejudices still in the game when people think, no, it's for boys, it's not for girls, this game. So I think, also having these options for girls to just play more football and make it, more normal as well, that girls playing football for everyone, I think is a good thing to do. And it's also a challenge because, there are still so many, opinions against women's football.
It's phenomenal.
So what I wanted to know is, so you're at West Ham now. Within the game, do you get support, or are you as close with you're not really as close, but are you good, and do you get the support from the male
players?
From the male players as well? Or is it literally, do you feel that you're separated and more could be done to close that gap?
I think you always could do a little bit more, but I would never complain about the situation we have over here, because obviously what I said before, we train there and we see the men every day, and you speak to them, and they're really interested in our lives because they have no clue. Like, I think so many people have no idea how is it going, and how also about the money, of course, is always the question, like, how much do you guys earn, or do you have to work next to football, or can you live from that? And sometimes they're shocked when you speak about the money you earn with women's football, because they just live in their own world, Money doesn't play a big role anymore at one point, because it's just there. Yeah. But with us, it's like, it's about sometimes when you get, 3 parking tickets in a month, you already struggle to pay your rent or something.
Wow.
Yeah, like, these are, normal, for normal people, it's struggles, right? Mm. But for football players, it's like nonsense. They throw their money out something because they just have it so much. But for us, like, obviously, it's a different life, I think, just to call it like this. But I think, like, the support is good. Some boys came over as well to watch our games, like Declan Rice, for example, is there a lot. Okay. Some boys come and watch the games as well, and when you see them, they, we would never go there, make a selfie or something. Yeah. They wouldn't do it as well. But it's just normal, you say hi, and sometimes they ask about our games, and we do the same, and I would say it's completely normal for both of us, yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you what you do, yeah?
Yeah.
Next time you get 3 parking tickets, ask Peter to
Yes, I just need his number, you know.
he's got that, mate. He's got that. Okay, so now you're at West Ham. What do you love most about being at West Ham?
Doing this, you know.
The irons.
Just the hammers. No, I think it's a really good club. Like it's different to clubs like, don't know, Man City, for example, who are owned by really rich sheikhs or something. Like it's a really familiar club. Like it's working really close, so you can, don't know. I know everyone working at the training ground, for example, because you just see them and speak to them, and don't know. I think also the fans, they really appreciate when you work hard. Like it's a hard-working club, you know.
It's a working man's club.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of history as well in the West Ham history. So for us also, like, we only exist since I think 2 years or something. Yeah. So the people are really interested in the women's side of the game. Some people, I think, didn't even realize that they have a women's team now at West Ham. So maybe we should tell them. But yeah, the others, apart from them, really liked it.
Yeah, okay, cool. I love that. So, who would you say is the best player you've played against? Against.
Oh, this is hard, you know. I could say Ramona, and she would be really happy now, you know. But I also played with her, so maybe, yes, maybe she's one of the best players I played with her, or with. Against. Do you know all of the women's players?
I don't even know all of the
men's players. Can I just say someone?
Yeah, no, you can say it and see if I get it.
What about for the national team? What about for the national team when you played for Germany? Did you play against any really strong countries and with some really top players?
Yeah, like USA was always, they were really, really good. Yeah. So of course, like, don't know, Alex Morgan or like.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah,
I think she's
unreal.
World, so.
She also played for Lyon one season, like in France, and everyone thought like, no, she's more Americans, more physical players, like they're strong and fast and everything, but she's a really technical player as well. So combining this makes her, I think, really, really outstanding. So yeah, she's good.
That's amazing.
She's not bad, yeah.
Where would you like to see, because obviously you've made strides, like massive strides, the women's game. In regards to the future in 5 years or so, where would you like to see the women's game?
I think it should be just normal when women's game are also, for example, in the TV. You can watch them in the TV, you can watch them back, for example, on Sky Sports. It shouldn't be a big, for example, in England already, I think, is quite good from being able to watch some games, but sometimes you don't even know how to watch certain teams because they just don't show the games, you know, or you can't just watch the games from, don't know, when it's not the top teams or something in the league.
I'm sure it's not televised.
No,
not every game.
I'm sure the women's have got a version of Match of the Day, but it's after Match of the Day, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the top game of the weekend is also, you can watch it on BT. They started doing this, and then we have an FA Players, like an app where you can watch some games, but not all the games. But I think just making it more visual for people to, what I said before, just making the women's football normal. It's not a big thing anymore that you play football, because I think we get asked all the time, why did you play, or why did you start playing football? Yeah, just because the same reason maybe every little boy starts to play football, because we just, with 5, 6, 7 years old, don't know, you don't really think about what you do, you just do what you like, you know? So I think it should be not a big thing anymore that little girls want to start playing football in 5 years,
Okay, and before we wrap this one up, how can I put this one? Would you say England was like the holy grail of football for you? Because you spent a lot of years in Germany, but what was it about England? Was it the fact that it was just full-time and you can make a living of it?
Yes, to be honest, yes. But now that I'm here and don't know, experience how crazy people are with football, I think Germany is also a big football country. Like, people love to watch football, and you can watch in every single pub the Bundesliga or something. But it's crazy here, even if you don't know. I had a really crazy neighbor in my old flat, and she had 8 cats or something. But when you saw her outside, you always talked about football. and she was maybe 70 or something. So it's just normal for people to have their club. They support their club, or they come into a family. When you support one club, you have to support this club. So you get just born into supporting a club. So I think the amount of crazy people like loving football here is, I think, extraordinary. Like, we don't have this crazy football, vibe in Germany, even if we're really football crazy as well. But I think this is really nice when you, live in this sport and see like how much people really enjoy watching and talking about football.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Sorry, that's quickly. Would you say, obviously, because you played in Germany and you've played over here, would you say, or what is the differences between like the coaching you received in Germany, the coaching you receive over here, and the players, like how good they were over there compared to how good they are over here?
Okay, so first of all, the coaching is really different. We also speak about this. I play with Ramona, for example, in Wolfsburg, a really big club in Germany, and it's so strict, in Germany. It's like when you say hello, you just give the coach the hand and you have to look them in the eyes, whereas here, our coach always hugs us and give us a kiss and like, "You okay, darling?" And sorry, this is like how you say hello to your players, and I really like this. So we hug our general manager, and maybe it's just West Ham, or maybe it's a little bit more West Ham, the atmosphere at West Ham. But I think people are a little bit, nicer in the way they treat each other. It's not so strict, and it's a little bit, warmer maybe, yeah. But I don't want to say that we're really cold, because Germany has a really bad image.
Reputation.
We're really nice, but yes, but we're just a bit strict, I think, and more serious. Whereas here it's really loving, like the atmosphere is really nice. And for example, our coach always just say like, go out, express yourself, and I don't know. I really like this attitude. Like, you don't put players so much under pressure, whereas in Germany it's like you get like scream from outside if you don't know. It's like little things when they give you a little bit more confidence as a player, like, because they just want you to perform and don't take everything so personal. Especially with women, you can't be personal, like taking things too personal. You just need to be neutral. But in our club, it works being really warm with each other, but still neutral, without being too personal.
Okay.
And from the players, I think, it's quite the same. I would still say there's a really high level. The German Bundesliga is really, in their width, really good. Whereas here it just starts like to improve, because a lot of foreign players want to join the WSL. This is how our league called, and because it's professional and you don't have these good facilities in every club in Germany.
Yeah.
So I think with like more quality coming from foreign players as well, it's going to be in the next 1, 2, 3 years the best league in the world.
Okay, cool. And last question. Next time you're cooking tacos, can I come round and get some tacos, mate?
Of course, everyone's welcome. So we live in a house together, and it's called Laguna. So if you're in Seven Oaks, give us a call and we make it happen.
Forever eating good in that house. Okay, but yeah, guys, we will have one more last break, and then we're going to just quickly move on to Lyle. But thank you very, very much, Ms. Simic.
Anyone have any questions?
Did anyone have any questions?
Any questions for Julia, anybody?
Just break my applause.
No, sorry.
Yeah, just get me. I love it.
Let's get up.
Can we have a fun?
Thank you so much, Julia. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Slick, run that.